Have you ever wondered why, when you're super tight in matches, your balls tend to go super short? And a lot of coaches tell you to be relaxed, and also they ask you to hit underneath the ball on the forehand. So what does all that three things have in common? I'm going to talk about that today. There's this really important component to how your muscles, how tight it should be, and where you should be using it. Now, a lot of coaches just want you to, the top coaches say it. That's why a lot of these coaches that are at the, I don't want to say lower level, but the coaches that are teaching more recreational players, what they say is relax to get more power. But a lot of people just don't take that correctly. When these top coaches ask the top players to relax, it's because they know when to be tight and when to loosen up. Now, when they're saying be loose and relax, the top players and really athletic players, they'll know when to squeeze and when to relax. And as they relax their body too much, they'll figure out oh, that's not it. They know, intuitively, they know it's okay, that's not how I should hit the ball. Okay, I still want to hit big. So intuitively, they'll know when to kind of relax and when to kind of tighten up your muscles. So it's more important to know which muscles should be relaxed and which muscles should be tight. Now, when you watch Nadal and some of these top players, and when they're hitting the ball, their muscles are all freaking, it's flexed and they look like Superman. I mean, you can't relax and be like that. There's no way. So a lot of people, if you're questioning I see the difference though, why is when you take pictures, he's still flexing and he looks like he's actually muscling the ball. But what is the difference? Why do coaches say that? It's because, I said it before, but you have to tighten up the correct muscles. Now, I'm going to teach you today on which muscles you should be tightening up on the forehand. Now, on the forehand, it's very important to use the lat muscles. Now, what happens when you're tight? When you're tight, your shoulders go up like this, and you look tight. When you're playing, you're not moving very well. When you're, I forgot what this muscle was called, but anyways, this muscle here, or the neck muscle that connects to the shoulder, that muscle gets super tight. Now, when that muscle is tight, why is that bad? It's because when that muscle is tight, you have to muscle the ball, okay? And you're going to be hitting on top of the ball, and you're not going to be generating speed because of that. So watch what happens. When you're relaxed, you see how the racket face is more square, but look what happens when you're tight here. When you're tight here, okay, the elbow lifts, okay, and your shoulder lifts. And what that does is you start hitting on top of the ball. Even if you're here and you get tight and you're going to be like that. So that's why it's going to take way more power. It feels like you're not very efficient when you're tight. And you start muscling the ball even more to get it over the net or trying to get it deeper. So that's not how you actually get it deeper. It's not the best way. The best way is to relax. You know how Djokovic does this, Sharapova does this, and everybody does that. But yes, it's to relax, but mostly it's just to relax the muscles here because they're trying to let go of the shoulder muscles to be able to get underneath the ball. And that's also why players, coaches ask you on the forehand, hit underneath the ball, because what that does is it creates the elbow comes out first and the butt cat comes out first, and you're going under and then over. So instead of going tight, elbow high, and hitting on top of the ball. So a lot of these things are very related to each other, so I can't really explain just one thing and just be done with it. Everything kind of is connected to each other. So that's also why coaches say hit underneath the ball. It also tends to relax the muscles here and gets the muscles tighter where it should be. You see that? So see, if you feel this, I wish you could touch the muscle here, but if you touch this and do it right, there's nothing here. It's super soft. But what I'm doing is I'm squeezing here to hit the ball, and this is down and not up. You see that? So that's one of the reasons why you have to stay loose here and not loose as in the balloon loose. So I'll show you the difference now. All right. So People were telling me you have to show the bad way first because whatever the brain remembers is the last thing you saw. So, okay, great point, great pointer. So, when you're tight, you start hitting on top, it's very tough to get it deep, and you're gonna get excessive spin that you don't need, okay? I kind of overdid it there, but you kind of get the point. You see that? It's very tough to actually hit deep because you're not going through the ball and you're hitting on top of it. You won't realize it, but if this lifts before, you'll keep hitting it on the bottom of the net or really short. Now, the way to do it right is not to just relax here, but use the muscle here in the lats, trying to pull the lats down, okay? Here we go. So taking it back, pull the lat down, and then swing. I didn't hit it hard there, but pull the lat down, and boom. Again. See, it doesn't look tight. Now, even if I try to hit it hard, if I pull the lat down consciously, it'll look like very smooth. Now, it'll take more practice to do it, hitting it hard, but you get the point. So, pull the lat down, and lat down. So, that's how you use the opposite muscle to pull your shoulder down and stay relaxed. As a former tennis pro, my trainers asked me to do a lot of lat pull downs, and I really didn't know why. But the thing is, when you do a lot of lat pull downs at an angle, you learn how to activate those muscles. And even when you're not thinking about it, those muscles are holding on to the bones. So you're naturally getting pulled down instead of going up. So you want to relax this and use your lats to be able to stay tighter. I don't want to say tighter, but there's no other term. There's no other term really. Like firmer? No, it doesn't make sense. So if you want to hit big and still look like you're loose, you still need to obviously use energy to get the power. Now, I don't want to go into too much detail. Like it's going to go into like a different video. So let's just stick with this. But make sure you use the lats to be able to look looser on those big shots. And you'll start hitting bigger, more accurately, and you're going to hit your targets. I hope this video helped you out. It took me decades to figure this out, just like the other videos. I try to share my best tips and like my best secrets online because there's so much information out there. Like there's so much wrong information, and so I understand you could attack me, you could say I'm wrong, but the thing is, like, I've seen this work on my players. Like I've worked with players, and I've taken a lot of these players from that level to whatever level, like even top 20, top 100, whatever their level was. So I know it works, and not only do I know it works on these pro players, but I know it works on the recreational players. As long as you could figure out and analyze correctly and give players the right solutions, they're always going to get better. So I hope this video helped you out and opened up your mind to a new idea. And that's all I'm trying to do. And see you in the next video. Thanks.